create abstracts, of course, is just to do it in camera. So you find something you can zoom in on and take a picture of, eliminating the context so that it becomes more about the elements and principles like color, line, shape, that kind of thing, texture. So here we have an example of that, you know, blue, white, green. It's part of the football field, but just looking at it, it's becoming more about color, more about space than football. So this would be an example of art for art's sake. Now to abstract this image, to go a little further, again, I'm always going to start by making a copy of the background layer, and then I might see what I have on some of my other pictures and find something in particular that could work well with this composition. Okay, so I'm going to select this ball because this is more about shape and form than just a ball. So I'm going to get my elliptical marquee tool. I'm going to try, hold shift, drag out a perfect circle here. If it doesn't line up exactly, I can always move it around. I got pretty close, actually. And then I'm going to look at a preview, select and mask of what that looks like. I don't want any of the background here, so I might shift this edge in a little bit just to get rid of that blue in the background. There we go. So we have just this orange sphere to play with. And let's go to select, transform, selection. So now I can like make it cooperate. Just want it to be a wee little bit smaller. Edit, undo. Forgot to drag from the corner, holding shift so that the proportions are constrained. Okay, now we're going to hit enter. Take a look at my selection here. Ah, yes, it looks fine. I'm going to click OK, Command C, and then go back to my football area, Command V. So now I have this big orange thing that I can play with. I might want to cover up the fact that this is an inflatable ball. So if your tools ever don't make sense, go up to Window, go down to Workspace, and I'm going to choose Photography. So now I have my layers, I have my adjustments, and there's my spot healing brush. So that's a helpful hint. I'm going to make it bigger, and then I'm just going to cover up this area. Doop, with content aware. Okay, so now I can make duplicates of this. I can have it, you know, hanging off the edge. I can make more of an abstract composition using just these shapes and colors. I could even add like a blending mode onto that circle so it could, you know, call out that shape in different interesting ways. For now, I'm going to hide it because I wanted to try some things in the background. So with this background copy, I can use the Smudge Tool. And again, this is a copy, so I don't mind if I mess it up. So the Smudge Tool is hidden underneath the blur and the sharpen. So it allows you to paint with the pixels as if you're running your finger through wet paint. And it might take a minute to catch up with your cursor, but that's definitely a way to abstract something. I'm going to go ahead and do it in a faster way by adding a filter and then choosing Liquify. And we want this top option, which is the forward warp tool. So if you click and drag, it'll do that same thing, but notice it rendered a lot faster than my smudge tool. So I might smudge this, manipulate it to make it more abstract, emphasizing those lines. So it kind of looks like I've smudged my pixels. And then I can use the reconstruct tool to go back in time. Maybe I want less, all the way to none of that distortion. And then you can always hit restore all if you want to get rid of everything. Okay, so that's the Liquify tool. And then once I hit OK, now that's a permanent change to that layer. Okay, so now if I want to play around with this ball shape, I might want to repeat the ball. Maybe I make it smaller, Command T, hold Shift. I might want it kind of hanging off the edge of the composition. If you hold Option and drag, it'll make a copy. Option, drag. So repetition definitely makes something look more abstract. So maybe the balls on this side are going to be the opposite color from green, which is red. And maybe I'll have one more, whoops, kind of hanging off the edge over there. Okay, so these are orange and blue. It's becoming a very abstract composition now. It's almost a collage. And then these, to change the color, I can go up to the Hue Saturation Adjustment layer. And notice it's changing the color of everything. I just want it to change the color of the one ball beneath it. So I hit that little clip to button. Ooh, actually it might look good with like blue. Or even purple. So can we get red? Red's in there somewhere. It's kind of reddish. Can increase the saturation a little bit. There we go. And then this same hue saturation layer, we can hold down Option and apply it to this ball as well. Again, double click, apply to just that one. Then hold Option, drag, let's drag up above this one here. And again, it linked it by clicking this little button to just the ball beneath it. Okay, so here we have red and orange, green and blue. This picture has now crossed into the field of abstract.